There was a moment when humanity did not exist yet. No cities, no history, no human voice, only creation. The Bible describes the beginning of everything. God forms the heavens, the earth, the seas, the animals, and all vegetation. Everything is created in order, and everything has a purpose. And then something different happens, something unlike anything before. God creates man. The text says that God formed the man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. In that moment, man becomes a living being. His name is Adam. Unlike the rest of creation, Adam is not made by command alone. He is formed directly by God. After this, God plants a garden, a place called Eden. The garden is full of trees pleasant to the sight and good for food. Among them, two stand out, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Adam is placed in the garden and given a responsibility to cultivate it and to keep it. Along with this responsibility comes a clear command. He is allowed to eat from every tree except one, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and the consequence is direct. In the day that he eats from it, he will surely die. Up to this point, Adam is alone. Then God declares that it is not good for man to be alone. Before creating the woman, God brings the animals to Adam, and one by one he gives them names, demonstrating authority over creation. But among all living beings, no one is found like him. Then something changes. God causes Adam to fall into a deep sleep, takes one of his ribs, and from it forms the woman. When Adam sees her, he immediately recognizes her and says that she is bone of his bones and flesh of his flesh. She is called woman because she was taken out of man. Later, she receives the name Eve, which means mother of all living. From this point, Adam and Eve live in the garden in a state of innocence. The Bible says they were naked and were not ashamed. But the story continues. And a new element appears, the serpent. It is described as more cunning than all the animals. The serpent approaches the woman and begins to question what God had said, distorting the command. The woman looks at the fruit and begins to see it as desirable. She takes it and eats it. Then she gives it to Adam, and he eats as well. This is the turning point of the story, direct disobedience to God's command. Immediately something changes. Their eyes are opened, and they realize they are naked. Their first reaction is to cover themselves, making garments from fig leaves. Then they hear God walking in the garden, and for the first time they hide. God calls Adam and begins a dialogue. Adam says he was afraid because he was naked. God asks if he had eaten from the tree. Adam shifts the responsibility to the woman, and the woman points to the serpent. At that moment, the consequences begin. The serpent is cursed. The woman will experience pain in childbirth. The man will work the ground with difficulty. The earth will produce thorns. And death becomes part of human reality. Even so, God makes garments of skin and clothes them, replacing what they had made. Then they are removed from the garden and prevented from accessing the tree of life. From that moment on, life changes. Adam and Eve begin their life outside Eden. They become the first family. Their first sons are Cain and Abel. Later, another son is born, Seth, and through him the lineage continues. From this family, generations begin to form. According to Genesis chapter 5, Adam lived 930 years. Eve's age is not recorded, but she is described as the mother of all humanity. During his life, Adam lived alongside multiple generations. He lived until the time of Lamech, the father of Noah, which means the story of creation could be passed directly through very few generations. He was also contemporary of Enoch, who walked with God and was taken by him, and Methuselah, known for his long life. Other figures, like Nimrod, appear only after the flood and not during Adam's time. Adam's most known sons are Cain, Abel, and Seth, and through Seth, the biblical lineage continues until Noah. The story of Adam and Eve marks the beginning of humanity. From them come the first generations, the first conflicts, and the events that continue throughout the biblical narrative.